It was 4 years ago, 2012, Canada's last championship at the Worlds. This week, they have been the team to beat. What a great team shot from the throw to the brushing, the judgment, and the line call. Canada picks up 3. A win over Denmark in the 1-2 page playoff put Kevin Cooey into the final. One more win, and the gold is theirs. Canada against Denmark. The World Men's Curling Championship gold medal final. Next. And it's a beautiful spring-like day in Basel. Temperature headed towards 18 degrees. As we say hello, Canada, and welcome back. Our final day, Men's World Curling Championship presented by Ford of Canada. The Canadians clinching their spot into that gold medal final on Friday in the 1-2 page playoff. They won that one 5-3. Denmark with a win over the U.S. in the semifinal. Then earlier today, the Americans winning the bronze medal 8-6 over Japan, setting up now this final game in Basel, Canada against Denmark, as Kevin Cooey and the team from the Glencoe Club make their way onto the ice at St. Jakob Halle. When you look at the tail of the tape of all these players, I think honestly it's advantage Canada.
On all 4 positions, the stats bear exactly out what you're saying, but it's this guy right here, Kevin Cooey. What a week, 90%. The ice was tough. He will be tough.
Rasmus Stjerne, well, the only one. There's Dad with the hands up and applauding. Tommy, the only one to ever win a medal for Denmark. That was a bronze back in 1990, so he knows that his son is guaranteed at least a silver.
That can really help. It actually can. It's a gold medal game. You think they're going to be nervous, but they have that silver in their pocket. Can the 3 players behind Rasmus keep up to the Canadian 3?
So it is Canada against Denmark in the gold medal game of the Men's World Curling Championship. We're in Basel. When we come back, we'll introduce the teams and get this gold medal game underway.
The 2016 World Men's Curling Championship is brought to you by Ford of Canada, proud partner with Curling Canada for more than 20 years.
It's time to meet the teams now, and it's brought to you by Home Hardware, homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice. The familiar Canadian champions from the Glencoe in Calgary. Kevin Cooey with Ben Hebert, Brent Lang, Mark Kennedy, trying to win a 35th gold medal since this all began back in 1958. Rasmus Stjerne and the team from Hvidovre in the Copenhagen suburbs, they have never won a gold medal, and as mentioned, only one medal ever, and that was a bronze by Tommy Stjerne back in 1990. Unlike the Canadian Championship, Canada with a record of 10-1, 2 games better than Denmark, but they only get the choice of one thing, and they've taken the last rock. So it is Denmark playing maybe a little bit of a head game here. They've elected to take the red stones, albeit they beat the U.S. in the semifinal with those reds. But it forces Canada to play a new set of stones, the yellows. They did match yesterday during practice, so I think they were somewhat aware that this just may happen. So it's the red stones, Denmark, Canada the yellow. The Canadians have last rock. And to get us underway, the Danish lead is Troels Harry.
Well, 2 very competitive games, round robin, and in the 1-2 game against Denmark here for Canada. And it's really whoever blinks first. Both these teams have a lot of weapons, especially those 2 guys right there. And you look at the tail of the tape, the 3 in front of Kevin Cooey should be able to put enough pressure on Denmark, but it's one game, winner take all. You just never know. How is Denmark going to react? That's what I want to see. It's a gold medal game. How big of pressure can you have? But when you've got that silver, Vic, it's very possible that they're like playing with house money.
Takes a little bit of the edge off, maybe?
Yeah, it could.
So rather than going in and around, they'll put up the corner, the Canadians. Troels Harry. Interesting start, I think, for the Danes, because they called for that center guard first rather than going in. And then we usually see the corner go up, then the cap. Now they've decided to reverse that, guard, and then now draw.
It tells you they're ready to go. Because they throw it in the rings, Canada could have. I don't think Kevin Cooey would have, but he could have hit it. So by throwing the guard, Denmark gets what they want.
Up 12. Wait's close. Line's good. Wait's close. Line only right now. Wall route. No, Brent. Line's fine. Wait's close, but we're there. We're good. We're good. Okay, just for weight. Line's really good. Has to curl a bit. Stay with it. Bumping a foot. Lock it, Brent. Lock it. Bumping a foot. Wall.
And on the corner. Attaboy, Benny, somebody says from the crowd. Ben Hebert.
Good sweeping, guys. Nice, really good judge.
Benny had an extremely slow start to the week. Statistically, part of it was the ice. One game it was the rocks. But he fought through it and he worked himself all the way up to 87%.
One of the advantages that Mark Kennedy thinks the Canadians have over this team is their big game experience. Yes, the Danes have been in the Olympics. They've been in some worlds as well. 4th place in Victoria the year of Nicholas Edin's win. But those big games, both on tour, at the national level, including a Brier, that they think will ultimately, or could be, a deciding factor.
All 4 of these guys have done it, been there, done it. And you look at Denmark, yes, they've been in a tremendous amount of big events, but not at the playoff level. And that's the difference. Now, mind you, they played awfully well against the United States yesterday, but this is as high as it gets when the pressure's, you're talking pressure.
Mark, you have to. Hard! Oh, Benny, go, shooter. This one. This one. Hard,
so let's take a look at the keys to the game, and we'll start with the Canadians.
Well, just what you touched on a little bit, lean on that experience. If you can win a Canadian championship, they've all 4 here have won a world championship, some Olympians. You have to lean on that in this big moment. But I'd lean on Mark Kennedy also. He's the big game player. He's #1 at the 3rd position. He's got a huge advantage over Johnny Frederickson. Go with him. That's where you put the pressure on Rasmus.
Oh, he gets the roll underneath.
Well, simplify it early. We just talked about the big 3 for Canada. They can put so much pressure on the Danish team. Rasmus won't have anything, so you have to support him. If you're on the Denmark team, keep it a little bit simple. Let it breathe. You don't have to go crazy early around those center guards, and they'll have a chance.
Keys to the game are brought to you by World Financial Group, helping Canadians have better financial futures.
It's exactly the type of end that Denmark wanted. Get one around, one good freeze. If Canada can't respond, then you hit. Don't get into that freeze game because Canada will bury you.
Brent Lang.
Stay with the back one. Stay with the back one. Stay with the back one.
And trying to kick it out into the open, and they do. Shot rock still belongs to the Danes. Go back to that 1-2 page playoff. Canada had the last rock in the first. Were held to a single, and in fact it was very tight. It was a 2-2 tie at the 5th end break. And then the Canadians, as has been their habit a little bit in the games through round robin, they seem to have that extra gear. They put the pressure on in the second half and they cracked that 3.
Well, I think part of it too is, round robin we had a couple of dodgy night games where the ice was tricky and it took Canada long. Where's that going to go? Well, we got a bit of a break there.
Right to the corner. Goodness. Just to remind you, minimum is 8 ends before you can leave the ice, so we'll play at least 8 in this final. 38 minutes is your thinking time. 1 60-second timeout.
Half rock. Okay.
I slid a little tight instead.
Even a shade more. Okay. Just control.
Okay. Benny, stay with that back one. Yeah, you bet you. Good ice. No.
Mark Kennedy not completely happy with his game, so prior to the game, which is 3 o'clock local time in Basel, 9 a.m. Eastern time in Canada, he went out and practiced at a curling club in Arlesheim. and they threw stones for about 20 minutes.
That's what type of player Mark Kennedy is. That's why he's the best third in the world. Takes his job seriously. He just wanted to work on a few things. It could just be butterflies, just to sometimes, you know, they've had a long time off, an entire day off, and it feels like a month when you're in this situation. So I don't see any problem with that. He wouldn't be trying anything new. He just like go hit a bucket of balls, you know, just loosen up a bit.
And they'll sit the shot stone. Just tucking underneath the Canadian Rock top 12. Canada's win on Friday night led to the day off yesterday. They did practice. They did match a set of yellow stones, which they're forced to use today. They also went as a group to the Basel Zoo before having a team dinner last evening.
I think that's the shot. Yeah. I think it's the same weight.
Control.
Same weight.
Yeah,
no less.
Like,
Yeah.
Just if we
Gotcha.
nose it, is the double tougher than if we roll away?
If we nose it, we might not be second shot.
Okay.
Hey, let's roll over there, boys.
Okay.
I'll throw control.
Yeah.
You stay with our yellow roll.
Short little raise, roll a little towards the center line, and that might allow the rock that Mark's hitting to kick in behind that corner guard.
Not heavy. Whoa, Mark. Whoa.
I think so.
Whoa. Yep. Yes.
Never stop.
Never stop, Brent.
Oh, now watch these stones go. One will stay, and will that hang around? It does on the edge of the 12 tee line. Shot rock, top edge of the 8.
Den gule var nødt til at holde det et stykke tid her, Johnny.
Rolled a hair too far. Both marks over Crow by just a smidgen. We saw a lot of that in the round robin with Mark early.
Så kan han ikke potte den der gule, den røde væk. Nej. 40 buer? Ja. Lidt oppe.
Yep.
Ring.
Yep.
In a 4th appearance at the World Championships for Rasmus Stjerne. And that now familiar whistle.
Kevin might be able to throw this hard enough, make that back double, and roll over to the side Danish rock. Or does he roll behind the corner, one or the other?
It's close with these two. I actually think it's yellow over here, but
Heavy control right there.
I think it is yellow. Does that change anything?
You can't bring that yellow into play, I don't think, Vic, because that red one's locked on the corner of it.
Hit and roll behind the
Try
corner.
to double and
roll
I guess
over
I
here?
could.
No, that's
We
just
could
as
roll
good.
this way.
I'm thinking.
It's just as good over here.
Huh?
You can roll into the red?
No.
No.
Oh.
Behind it, half
I
behind
think
it.
it's yellow.
Well, I think we got to roll. No, I think we got to go this way, don't you?
Yeah.
Unless I dead
Good
get
control.
behind that guard. If I can ever make this double and roll.
Yeah. Okay. Double and stay in the house.
A
Yes.
little more.
Kevin Cooey, his first Canada with last
Whoa.
ball.
Whoa, never. Whoa. Get ready, Brent.
Brett
Whoa,
Lang.
whoa. Yep, Brent.
Now Brett.
Yes.
Even. Now, trying to roll this over, and it just jumped on them.
Yeah, that's the issues, and especially at the start of the game when you've got the fresh pebble. The pebbles still has been worn a little bit, smoothed out a bit. Those brooms are just unbelievably efficient or inefficient, depending on what you're trying to do. Rasmus, 87% for the week, 3 behind Kevin Cooey for second place. Cooey was 90. You could argue that might have been an even more impressive feat because his team hasn't been nearly as good underneath him. He's had some tough shots, and he's just made everything he's looked at. no way of making that double and clearing that red. So just hit and stay here.
So just as it was in that 1-2 page playoff, the Canadians trying to get their one, forced to a single by a good first end by the Danish champions.
Same.
Little hooky, guys.
Whoa, Ben.
Yeah, that's fine.
Clean it.
Clean it.
Same way. Clean. Clean.
Shot count, boy.
And to it. So the Canadians with last rock will pick up a single to open the scoring. It is the gold medal game. World Curling Championship from Basel.
The 2016 World Men's Curling Championship is brought to you by Tim Hortons, official coffee of Curling Canada, by Home Hardware, homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice, and by Sponge Towels Paper Towels. Nothing absorbs like it.
Earlier today in Basel, the bronze medal game in the 10th end. Red rock at the back edge. That belongs to Japan. They who had fallen behind the Americans 4-0 after the first two. The U.S. opened with that 3. Final stone on the way for the Japanese skip Yosuke Morozumi out of Kurosawa, trying to make this bend. This is a draw for the win, but he crashes on the stone top 12, actually bumps up the American rock, and the Americans would steal one in 10 as they win the bronze medal over Japan. The final was 8-6, and it gives the Americans their first medal since Todd Burr in 2007. John Schuster, the team from Duluth, win the bronze.
Well, best year John's ever had. He worked hard at it this year. He deserves a medal, but you have to also congratulate Team Japan. What a year Japan's had with a second at the World Women's and a fourth at the men's, and their program's coming along quite nicely.
Some kind of guard, sure.
From the St. Jakob Halle in Basel, this is the men's gold medal final of the World Curling Championship presented by Ford of Canada. The Canadians open with a single in the first. Denmark will have the last rock. They have the hammer playing the Redstones here in 2. Canada's Brent Lang.
Weight's good. We're tight. Just higher than half. Okay, that's but we're there for sure. Past half.
Ben Hebert's like a caged animal. He just wants to brush. Almost every shot is like, it's fine, Ben. It's fine, Ben.
Well, in fact, that's the thing that Kevin Cooey, as soon as he let his last one go to make the hit, he said, "It's okay, Ben. It's all right, Ben." Yeah, he's a little amped up, as you expect in a game like this.
Absolutely.
But that is where that experience, you would think, would pay off for the Canadians, that they realize that they know the importance, obviously, but they can keep those emotions a little bit more under control.
Exactly. They've been in this situation so many times. Oh, look at that angle.
Mikael Poulsen.
Very nice. It looks so far, it's early, but it looks so far like that 1-2 game, and that experience gained from that for Team Denmark has really served them well here so far. They didn't look quite as sharp in that game. They played well, but they didn't look good. They were a lot nervous. The numbers were low, especially in the middle of the lineup with Johnny and Mikael.
So one corner to work with. Canada is sitting the 2.
Really nice setup here. And kick this across.
And to it and pushes it back. John Dunn is the coach, sports psychologist for the Canadian team out of the University of Alberta, their faculty of phys ed and recreation. Mark Kennedy can't speak highly enough about what John has done for the team. He's added to their professionalism, made them all accountable.
Heavy control, Nicky.
Gotta go real hard. Real hard.
Come on, Benny.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa. Shooter, Benny, go.
And rolling it away.
Oh.
That's good.
Not quite as far as they'd love to get that. If this double is made properly, it's underneath that red guard.
He's a former Danish mixed champion. Michael Kvist. Gentleman on the right, Ulrich Schmidt, is now the head of the Danish curling program, multiple Danish champion. Appeared in World Championships, Olympic Games.
Move on.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. 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 Big out. Whoa. Big out hard. Hard, buddy, hard.
Watch it, and they'll both go.
Skal nok være en rød på den anden side, hvis du skal tilbage. Ja. Så godt, Johnny.
Giv ham, hvis vi skal rød på den anden side.
Love to have saved that.
Skal vi bytte nu, eller hvad? I think you peel.
What?
Okay.
I mean, he makes one really good, and you can still come down and bump it.
Yeah.
Anything wrong if the Canadians decided to go behind that guard and try the force?
Well, in theory, no, because that would be a wonderful way to force. But with when you're playing these type of teams, you have to calculate the odds. Can Rasmus run that back, stick it, and now you give up a 2? It's too big a game. Round robin, you might see Canada entertain that idea. Not now. We talk about all the experience of Denmark or of Canada, but with Denmark, the one advantage that any team has over Canada is they will probably, especially a guy like Rasmus, will probably have 3, 4, 5, 10 more chances at winning the World Championship for your country. Kevin Cooey, as brilliant as he is, you have to look at the odds of getting back here, and that adds an extra dimension of pressure too.
Control. What do you think for weight control? Yeah.
I saw Kevin take a look at that red guard, thinking that's no big deal, and they've done about as well as they could do with that, but it's wide open.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kevin Cooey trying to win a second World Championship, his last in 2010 in Cortina. Mark Kennedy, Ben Hebert trying to win their second. They won their first with Kevin Martin. That was in 2008. And then Brent Lang is trying to win a third. Both of the previous Worlds coming with Glenn Howard in 07 and in 12 in this very building.
Got sticky in the frost there. Yeah.
Benny mentioned the frost. It's really nothing there. You can see it, but it's certainly nowhere near being a big effect on the rocks. Hans Vutrich's done a wonderful job there.
No rain in the forecast for today. Mild, certainly, upwards of 18 degrees Celsius, so that puts it into the mid 60s in Fahrenheit. But it has been, and up until about Wednesday, a very rainy, spring-like week in a building with no dehumidifiers. So there's industrial dehumidifiers all over the building.
Yeah. Same weight.
St. Jakob Halle, built back in 1976, seats 9,000.
Control.
Whoa. Clean, just clean. Clean it. Little bit, Brett.
You have to stick around. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay.
Those two stones outside the rings. Any worry about a jam here?
No. They were looking at that red one. I don't think so. You'd have to absolutely stick it.
Might even have to bounce back a bit.
Right, and I just from that angle, I don't think that's possible.
Final stone, Denmark, Rasmus Stjerne looking for the blank here in 2. And away they both go. So Denmark will blank here in 2. Canada leads it. When we come back, gold medal game from Basel. TSN's extensive coverage of the Masters winds up today with the final round. The action tees off at 2 p.m. Eastern on TSN and CTV. Now there is extended coverage beginning at 11 a.m. Eastern. You can see that on TSN 4. One of the many boats, the barges, the river cruising that happens on the Rhine. The gold medals that will be presented at the end of today's game. Canada against Denmark in the Men's World Curling Championship final. All presented by Ford of Canada, and trying to sneak it underneath here in the 3rd. Blank in 2 means that Denmark once again has the last rock, playing the Redstones.
Nice shot by Ben Hebert. This is an interesting play. You could certainly follow that down and do the same thing Ben did. Hit your all open, but at least you'd kill the dangerous stone. Rasmus is playing the freeze, and it tells me they're really, really confident with the their abilities right now under pressure and the ice. That stopped.
Just gets to the top edge of the 8. The Danes winning that semifinal over the U.S. They opened with last rock and they cracked it 2. And then the Americans came up light. John Schuster on a draw in a odd path. Gave up a steal of 3, and it was 5-0.
Wait's close, Kev.
Denmark added another 3 in the 5th, and it was over 9-3 the final. They got off the ice after 8, the minimum 8. And the Americans earlier today winning the bronze medal, beating Japan.
Wait was perfect. Wait's perfect, yeah. They're that good, Brent.
The weight's perfect. To hear that for Brent Lang so many times. That's what makes him so successful.
So I'm assuming the line, the ice wasn't enough. And if you're the skipper, you better fess up, right?
Yeah.
Just make him feel good. Make him know that he threw the proper stone.
That's so true. Then there's so many players that go, oh, you know, I guess he was narrow. I guess he was light. Well, no, he wasn't. He threw it perfect. That was the input he got from the front end. Just was not enough ice.
Just curled on them at the last moment, unable to make the double. But they've got a couple of stones out in front, the Danes.
Same shot? Same shot, I think, guys.
Into that tight one.
I don't know, you can nose it.
Okay.
Your overroll.
Or make this not easy. I think this is best, don't you?
Yeah, the overroll's just really bad, eh?
What?
If we overroll and stagger ours, it's really bad.
Yeah, I know.
Do you like running the center into that tight one at all?
No, I don't like that.
No.
Okay, whatever. Nose
I
it
don't
then.
mind the double if you like
Whatever you
that,
like.
but
I like the nose, Kev, or a little flop. I think we can make
yeah,
it.
I like that. Nose is good.
Make a shot, Langer. I like it.
Okay, what's the weight then?
Control.
Normal.
It's one of the things that we've talked about from the
Like a little
opening
less.
No,
a week
fine.
ago Saturday. When the ice was very difficult, the team struggled because this Canadian team is a soft team. When we say that, they
Right.
love the soft shots, and the ice didn't allow that. They got a little bit chatty, and everyone trying to have their input, trying to obviously make the best they can as they run it by. Towards the middle of the week, they had a discussion.
Great shot, Brent. Attaboy.
Let Kevin make the decision. And they have been trying to back off with their input.
And that's exactly what you just watched. A good point. Langer, I'm so impressed. He came up, he threw out 2 other options to be discussed. Kevin didn't like either one of them. Langer immediately went, that's fine, let's go, I'll do it. Then he immediately went to the other mode, and that's what a lot of the teams don't do. They get, oh, nice shot. They get worrying about the, what should we do this, should we do that, should we do this, and then they don't put the broom in the right spot. Langer immediately, after the discussion was over, said, okay, what kind of weight do we need to make this? And then he got focused on what he had to do, and he made it perfect.
Mikhail Poulsen Runs it back, gets them both.
That a boy.
100%, Mikkel.
Whoa. Yep. Hard. Real hard. Hard.
And the run back by Mark Kennedy leaves the Canadian Stone shot rock top 12 without the hammer here in this third. And it'll roll under cover, top edge of the floor.
Three players that you felt had to really step their game up to give Denmark a chance to win. That's exactly what they're doing. They're making everything.
What's the best way to make this, boys? Yeah. Playing for nose or high side, Kev?
Nose.
Okay, I like it. Okay, boys, right on the nose.
Back it. Real hard, Brent.
Red Lang right out of his hand. It's as if he got it a little started. Oh, and he just runs it by.
Oh, that's not good.
Good sweep, Brent.
Every rock Mark's thrown, he's missed by just an or made, or just missed by a fraction, and it's always on the inside. I'm a firm believer that there's a pattern out there, and it's just that, in my guess is it's just that fresh pebble. There's just that wee fraction of like we were talking quarter inch, but rolled to a bad spot, Vic.
Do you think that's what he may have been practicing and trying to work out?
Yeah, it's possible. But what I've noticed, we've covered a lot of Mark shots here. He then, as the ice gets a little straighter, he makes everything. It's almost like he needs that half an inch more ice on everything until the ice calms down a little bit. I don't think like that was so close to perfection, really.
Around they go with Johnny Fredrickson to sit the 2.
They wanted to Christmas tree that a bit. They wanted that rock to guard the inside half of the shot rock. Now there's room, maybe.
Forward.
Where do you want to see it?
Edge of 4.
Okay.
It won't take off on you.
Okay.
If
Can't overroll it.
Kevin can actually get inside here,
Keep going if we're tight to that guard. Yeah.
how does Rasmus get it out? Big shot here, because if he doesn't, you're looking at a deuce. See if that red one had just stopped a hair sooner, Vic. Takes us away.
Yours down here didn't take off. Held it pretty good.
Kevin Cooey.
Solid board.
Skip Stones here in 3.
Whoa, clean. Whoa, whoa.
It's coming down.
Whoa,
Clean it.
wait. Whoa,
Brent, whoa. Ben.
Now, Hebert.
Again. Roll.
Just a little across the nose. Oh, and tried to roll it in. Grabbed the back half of that stone and just didn't get there. They are the shot rock for the moment.
Hvis han tør putte en ind under, jeg kan tage den ud, så står det 3.
Det tror jeg heller ikke.
Got to roll away here.
Så kommer en varme
Hit it dead on. There's a double. You can't roll inside. Now the key is rolling as far as you can. If you roll to Johnny's feet there, top 8, Kevin hits and rolls behind the bundle and maybe steals one. You want to roll as far as you possibly can. That'll put it roughly on the tee line.
Pretty tentative.
This Danish team did not tour very much. They played 6 events. 2 of them were in Canada, in Stroud, Ontario, and in Gatineau, Quebec. And rolling it away they do to sit on the edge of the 8. Still a chance, though, to get underneath, right?
Exactly. Normal weight here. You can get to the button, maybe back button. Could have rolled it a hair farther, but you certainly had to protect. You didn't want to roll out. And Cooey draws to the button. I like this turn.
Deliver more, Mark.
You can throw less weight because this is the action turn, the spin turn.
Yep.
With less weight, we all know that gives Hebert and Lang more ability to save it.
Easy now.
Whoa.
Not heavy.
Okay.
Easy.
Whoa.
Yep.
Cooey's last.
Yep.
Yes.
Hard.
Oh,
Strength this week has been those hit and rolls because of the ice. And now try to get it over. Take it a little bit more. And it'll die just as it gets to the top edge of the button.
Really close.
Good throw, Kev.
Good shot, Kev.
Good throw, man.
Sometimes of those, you hit them exactly where you want to, but it was just a fraction lighter and they won't kick.
Final stone here in 3. And Denmark, Rasmus Stjerne with a chance to pick up a couple. There they are. So Denmark patiently pick up 2 and take the lead. On Friday, the former director of event operations for Curling Canada and the 74 Brier winner Warren Hansen was inducted into the World Curling Hall of Fame. Hansen accomplished so much in his career, and he has no doubt what his #1 accomplishment was.
That's a simple question, and that is the Olympics. And my involvement back in Calgary in the early 80s, along with Ray Kingsmith, to first of all get the sport of curling into the games as a demonstration sport in '88, and then to work with the committee there and actually staging it, certainly without question, from my point of view, over the 50-year period, is the #1 thing.
And our congratulations from everyone involved with curling on TSN to Warren and his induction into the World Curling Hall of Fame. As we welcome you back, Denmark with 2 in the 3rd to take the lead. Canada with last rock here in 4. I remember '88 very well. It was a short story because it was a demonstration sport in '88 in Calgary. And they played it at the Max Bell Arena. All the tickets were sold, but they were sold corporately. So very few people were there to watch. And I can remember the head of the technical committee, the person that was in charge of whether to recommend a sport or not, was a Russian by the name of Yakov Smirnov, without a lie, without a word of a lie. And I remember him coming in to watch, and he would stand there in these long white coats that they had with their 5 gold rings on them. They were all the IOC people. And you thought that curling wouldn't have a chance.
Right.
Because all you heard was the brushing and the yelling, but there was no reaction from the fans.
Just crickets.
Just crickets. Yet they look at this, and now the Olympics and the IOC is, when it comes to the Winter Games, thankful to have curling, because quite often it saves them when the outdoor events are delayed by inclement weather.
Well, it's a go-to event, isn't it? The year we played, 06, the Canadian hockey men's team really struggled. Didn't make the playoffs. The numbers for curling were just insane.
Step on me. Yeah. Hey. I just found in practice it was curling a bit more, that's all. Speed's good here, Langer.
Yeah, similar to the draw through last time, 2 feet more.
Real close, yeah.
Best year Brett Lang's ever had, in my humble opinion.
Close, T-line!
He's had some good ones.
Okay,
we're there.
Weight's good. No, we're not heavy. A little tight.
Go, go.
You gotta line.
Go.
How's the weight?
Gotta go.
Does not need to
Gotta
curl.
go, yeah, I know. It's off the red.
Just freeze it.
Yeah,
freeze
trying
it.
to.
What's here?
It's off the red.
Wow. You heard Kennedy say, I think it was curling a little more in practice, and he's not wrong. They had huge ice in that. That was almost 6 feet of curl.
Mikael Poulsen.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yes. Yep. Hard.
Run it back and sticks it. They're sitting 3 without last rock here in the 4th.
I love the weight thrown here. This is what's changed in the last month or so in our sport. Soften the weight on those run backs.
Here you go. Should chisel this.
Utilize the directional brushing.
Good board.
And hang around, because that's another red one that Canada has to be worried about, that one that's out front.
Why you want this tight?
Whatever you think's best.
Easy. Good board. Yep.
Easy, you got no help.
Yep.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. 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 Whoa. Yeah.
Beaver.
Whoa. Whoa. Off. Right off.
No. Yep.
No.
Yep.
Easy.
As he pirouettes.
That's a great shot, Brent. Great shot.
And it will hold on and sit over in front for second shot.
Brilliant.
Might want to give that one a cap, boys.
Yeah, that's way better to have.
Yeah.
What a wonderful shot. Rolls behind the corner guard instead of out and kicks that shot rock out in the open.
Okay. Get in here.
And the change of brushes, the exchange. Hopefully this summer, when the World Curling Federation gets together with players and coaches, manufacturers, they could come up with something to bring the game back. Many people feeling now it's no longer a thrower's game, but a brusher's game.
They need to take a long look at Rule 10A. No player shall cause damage to the ice surface by means of equipment. Just have to find a material that doesn't scratch, they'll be fine. Tough little shot here. They gotta make this thing curl.
And they will just touch it and roll and rub off. They didn't move it far enough. So it appears that that red stone may have stopped in time for second shot, but that
Around again, or do you hit this thing?
I think you got to hit it.
Try to get the roll under then.
Yeah.
That's a mistake there for Denmark. First one really. Had to be a little softer weight.
You want to roll, and it's going to be tough. This is going to be a real good angle for him, but then I guess you can freeze if he makes it.
That's what I'm thinking.
What are you thinking?
I need good hack.
Yeah, I like that.
What do you got?
Both.
Yeah, yours is sharp.
He's got the new one there.
Good hack there. Should be close. It's curling here, so.
Trying to roll buried, knowing that red one, the one we talked about earlier, they can run it back. Maybe even if they throw it well enough, make a run double.
Clean. Solid hack. Whoa.
Nothing you can do about it if you're Canada. You gotta apply pressure with this one.
Whoa. No, not yet, Benny. Whoa. Can't roll too far, Benny. Yep.
Touch it. Yep.
Yes. Benny, why don't you?
I didn't know who you were talking
to.
to.
It wasn't ever tight there.
Well, you guys aren't dumb. You know who we mean.
well, here we go. There's just that. You lose a stone, and we've seen it not only with Canada, other teams as well. What brusher? Who he's going to brush? Now, in that case, and you heard them say, you should have known that was your stone.
I'm with you. They yelled Ben. He didn't respond. He had a brand new broom. I think he was a little afraid to overcurl it and rack, but it's the same. They weren't happy here.
And there's a roll underneath by Johnny Frederickson. Hey, give the Danes credit right now. They're out curling the Canadians.
Are they ever?
And it's the Canadians, despite all that experience we talked about, who seem to be on edge.
Stay with both turns then. I don't care which one.
You got to play with the end.
Well, the end.
Like this? You thinking chase?
I think we chase.
Which way?
Well, if I get this way, can I not roll right into him?
That's not good though.
This way?
guys, because if you chase this way, Lang, you probably jam.
Or back to here,
The
yeah.
house over there, you can freeze to any one of them.
Yeah, okay.
Guys, I'm feeling the internship.
Yeah, like
Same weight?
Same weight?
You need more than that if you're going to use this.
You can't take any off.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Same
I'll
weight.
give you a little more then.
That was solid hack. That's all. Yeah.
it's so much more complicated now. You burn more time now if you're trying to make, like, this rock's unbelievably hard to make. It's dead buried around a tight guard, and the guard's not yours. So Mark, now all of a sudden it's, well, let's throw a little more so Langer can carve it in, or Ben, whoever's on that high side, and it adds time.
Hard, Brent! Whoa! Keep roll, Benny! Benny, yes! Ben! Roll!
Wow.
Yep.
Well, he said he was feeling it. Great shot. Mark Kennedy.
Really good shot. That thing is dead buried around a guard that's nearly in the rings. Just carve it now. Watch it come across that line.
Benny, Benny, yes! Ben! Roll it! Yep.
Shot, Mark.
I heard Brent Lang say, why don't we do it with the other turn, and then we would roll and separate the yellows. This is not easy. But Rasmus can get out of this end with a real good one. There's the double there, Vec, on the outturn side. Oh, I think it is. A bit dangerous. You jam the yellow onto the red, you won't be happy, but you hit a thick half of this onto the yellow. It should spin with these stones, with these lively running bands. Now, once in a while, he floats these. This outturn, he just pops it out a little wee bit. And out this wide, I don't think it'll curl much. I don't expect him to be narrow.
Rasmus Stjerne and his first. Olsen has picked him up. And he will get them. Both. Interesting. Because if you were with us yesterday, that little bit of controversy with the game between Japan. Watch the Danes now. Stop. They didn't even get there in time.
That's right.
I thought they actually got there to stop the rock from the ricochet.
So in theory, Canada can put that back where they think it would have stopped, but we all know this one was flying out of there. So Canada did the right thing. The sportsmanship in curling is unbelievable. It's unmatched, really. That was the problem with playing the turn Canada played. A brilliant shot by Mark, but just set up the double.
Just heavy board. Clean. Weight's good. Clean. Yep. Whoa. Whoa, Brent. Clean. Clean it. Whoa. Whoa. Bend a little bit. Keep going, bud. Good.
Shot, Kev.
Nice coup. Altså, hvis vi kan proppe den ind under der, sådan, så han skal spille den der lunkefart på den, ikke? Jo. 10. 50 buer.
4 or 5 rocks in play before Rasmus through. It's a blank. Try to roll to the center, though. If he can get it buried, Kevin has to soften his weight on the blank attempt.
Whoa. Set. Yep. Whoa. Dogs.
Oh, and they lost it, so it'll be a throw through.
That rock went through the scratch that they scratched Mark Kennedy's on that beautiful outturn come around tap, and away it went.
So final stone, and it'll be a blank. And away it goes. So a blank here in 4, our second blank of the game. Denmark continues to lead it 2-1. The Canadians thought they may have something going here as they made that nice roll over, but as soon now you see them and now you don't.
Exactly. This is Rasmus' best shot. That leg drive kicks that out. So much power, rolls out. Simple.
As the Canadians go on to the Get the blank, the key shot brought to you by Cashmere Bathroom Tissue. Nothing feels like Cashmere. Welcome back to Basel, our coverage of the men's World Curling Championship. It's the gold medal game, and all presented by Ford of Canada. Denmark leads at 2-1. Canada with last rock here in 5, playing the Yellowstone.
Go around the corner. Sure, I like it. Full 12. Okay, yeah.
Penny had slid out before Kevin moved the broom there, so whether Penny got it out far enough or not. They're talking top 12 here. That's how good these brooms are now to get around and get these rocks. So you can't go deep. You can't have a lot of separation around the corner guard.
And just enough to get to the top edge of the 12.
Eat it. Hente med, men Morten skal det. Ja. Nej, noget, Janne. Godt lige der, Ming. Ja. 8.
Interesting play here. Peel weight. They can always get the back one. If they don't, they're going to roll towards the center. If they stagger these two red ones in the center, you'll see Kui go around everything.
Whoa, set. Whoa, whoa, step.
Controls Harry. Oh, and he runs it by. Now they've staggered those center guards.
Kui will go around everything.
Go either turn, Brent. You want to go this one, you?
Sure.
Interesting play because it works for Denmark in some levels because it at this point it looks like there's not going to be a blank, but obviously things can change.
Sure.
And it also guards the Danish rock, but it also gives cover for this guy right here to get in behind everything.
But that yellow sitting up there on top of the edge, doesn't Denmark have a chance to run that back?
Yep, they can. They can. Canada can use it later too.
Go.
Wait only.
Okay, wait's good.
Top 8.
Wait's good. Line. Go.
Gotta go line.
Hard mark.
Hard.
Come on, never again. Head down. Go.
Keep going.
Head down. Head down. Get it through. Head down. Drag it, fellas. Take it back all the way to the top edge of the button.
Just perfect. This is what Denmark asked for by rolling over. They called that shot, roll over and stagger those two reds that you see at the top.
Keep going. Go. Benny.
And now Ben Evert takes over, and he pounds it into the top of the button. Mikhail Poulsen as we play second stones here in this 5th. Coming through too? You bet he is. Yeah, but he's going to rub and roll off.
If there's an advantage for Team Canada, it's this type of game here. Langer's so good at throwing the right speed.
And despite the fact that the Canadians have this soft game and it's their strength, they managed the poor ice conditions earlier in the week, and they actually changed the game to become more of a hit game.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They played the strategy that the ice gave them, which was more of a hitting game, more of a simple concept. They didn't want to do that, but because I think they feel that this is the type of end they want to get into.
I don't know if he's playing
It's not going to work every time. But nice start here for Canada.
We like under, but whatever you want.
Yeah, you just have to roll.
Okay.
Thinking here.
What are we playing? We're talking about rolling under. You're going away.
Rolling under. Okay.
Sorry, yeah, we're like an under.
Okay.
Whichever you think's best.
This is right where I threw with board. You like hack?
Sure.
I like hack. Won't take off on you.
Just an inch more.
Weight's good.
Ben Lang with a
Whoa, whoa. Good half. Whoa.
wonderful draw with his first.
Whoa. No. Whoa. Whoa. Nobody. Yep. Hard.
Now Hebert.
Push.
And trying to roll it underneath, and he does, right to the corner.
Two fantastic stone.
Great shot, Frank.
Now, why did you throw staggered guards? That was the issue with Team Denmark. They have to peel their own error.
Okay. Stay here.
They called it. Can that drag enough to touch the red? Maybe.
Johnny Frederickson.
It does too.
And it does, and it opens everything up. And they'll hang around back edge of the 8, also on the edge of the 12.
Is that Johnny?
Probably underneath, yeah.
I think he knows that one.
Knows that one? Or freeze high side.
It's just if you leave any kind of, then he's sitting 3, right? That's all I'm worried about. Yeah, if you make it perfect, you're good. But if you're right here, you're actually, he's just
worse. You ever nose and try to roll a bit under? I kind of like hitting something just because of the biter.
I don't see the. I think you hit that one.
Okay.
Do we ever nose hit this one?
Yeah. I don't think you need to worry about this one. Right
Sounds
now,
good to me.
So. Which way you like playing it?
Okay. I think I like the intern probably with good control or normal.
The respect these teams have for each other and the shot making ability, the rocks, the ice. They're worried about throwing a freeze that isn't quite frozen, and it'd be a triple.
That's okay. Hit this on the nose.
Nice to have 2 biters. Should give us something.
Yeah.
Just tell me what you're throwing.
I'm thinking normal's the weight.
Great nose, Mark. Dead nose.
Could roll in a little and sit 3. They're just going to keep it out there, keep some separation.
Just normal.
Yep. Hard.
Ben Hebert.
Hard, Benny.
Still got it.
What?
And he hangs it right there. Ben's head never came up.
That thing's deadly, isn't it? Just goes dead straight. Thanks.
That thing's deadly. He's talking about the broom too.
Heel.
Interesting call. I thought they'd play the double. Knows it. Only 3 Canadian rocks left.
Okay.
He'd be sitting 2.
Let's put it in 2.
He knows that top one goes underneath the red.
Whoa.
They've got time to make that later.
Controls Harry. And they'll leave it right there.
Whoa. Looks like it beats out that top yellow.
Does.
Yeah.
I do, and if we bump it a rock.
You got like the same shot. Yeah, I don't hate that either, Mark. I was thinking that.
Does it do a lot, maybe just grouping ours like that, though? I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, we could be.
Oh, you can't do that.
No, that's too flat.
I mean, he's probably hitting this next time?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's getting late for us to let him to light too. That's all. If we freeze
You
one
could
on
roll
there,
under. I don't really like the freeze. Like, I'd prefer to kill it.
Yeah, I still think I like this
well,
one
the
one more
outturns,
time.
hit Mark's out
Well, but then, Benny, we're going to have no double.
Exactly.
And if he rolls behind here, I'm having to run this.
We making a mistake not just hitting rolling in, boys?
I'm thinking I like
That idea of hitting the red stone at the back 8 and
That way you
rolling
can either-
under
your call,
because
kill it, or
of
we
the
hit
fact
roll
that
in
those
and
stones
move
are
something
now
around.
grouped and staggered a
rattle
little
it, it might
bit.
be really good. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you got it right into there, it's got to be good because you're going to be a little high. You're leaving this angle, right?
Yeah.
As you threw it hard.
What do you like, Brett?
I'm okay with that.
The
Throw it
freeze.
hard and hit about,
I'm surprised the freeze
2/3
is
and
one of
try to
their
get
least
that
favorite
6 over
options. I
frozen.
understand
Yeah,
there could be a
but-
triple.
Yeah, you're closer to. It's closer
What do you think,
to.
Langer?
To half.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It also
You
split
freeze it
half,
in there, they
right?
know as you hit and roll buried, you've got 2 underneath cover.
I don't know, boys. It's kind of a tricky one.
Mark. Hey, you know what? If there's 4 of ours in the rings,
We could split that left one.
Det var være fint, hvis vi kunne få dobbelt og sidde med 1-2, ikke? Så han også skal lave dobbelt for at få sådan. Og så giver du ham bare 3.
Hvor var du rundt på spille 11, hvis du skulle lave den der?
Ja, det tror du ret i. Det er vigtigt, men det skal dø, ikke?
Still trying to bring that top yellow into play. So if you hit and roll in here somewhere, Rasmus let's say he makes a double and rolls out, then you can hit that back one for as many as 3.
Peel, big peel.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Mark Kennedy.
Yep, whoa, whoa. Shoot it. Go, Kev, go, Kev, go, Kev. Go, 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 go.
And down and on the corner.
beauty, Mark. What a shot.
Wow.
Oh, that is so good.
He said, well, this is a tricky one.
Maybe, but this really close.
Shoot it. Go, Kev, go, Kev, go, Kev. Go, 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 go.
Oh, is that a beauty, Mark?
Whoa, whoa.
Is that a beauty? Yes, it is.
Go, Kev, go, Kev, go, Kev. Go, 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 go.
Oh, is that a beauty, Mark? What a shot.
There's a chance anyway.
It's basically like the freeze that I talked about, but it's better because by taking that red one off, that top yellow is still a possible counter. There might be a triple here. You've got to make the double and stay. That's the main thing. You're going to throw it really hard here. Dead on, knows it. See if you can. It's going to go towards that yellow. Can you?
Just catch the top of it.
You just feather the top of it.
Skip Stones. In 5. Rasmus Stjerne. Nothing. Oh, and he's going to jam it. And he's going to spill the one off that corner. But the chance now, that stone at the top could come into play. Could set up for a 3 here.
Brilliant. Just brilliant. Mark Kennedy rolling that over far enough to freeze it took away that chance.
I roll way over here and he makes that. It's a run for 2 or a chase.
But I think if you roll it all out, Kev, you're making his. He wants to throw this hard, I guarantee it.
Yeah,
We got to roll this way.
Well,
yeah, I know. We're gonna. And if he makes this, we chase.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I'm good with that.
You're playing the roll? Mark, you got the roll, eh? I got the roll.
Make sure we don't nose it.
Does that control it?
You threw this twice.
Yeah, it doesn't take off, right?
Control right here is close.
We'll have the wide chase. Okay. Not ideal, obviously.
Canadians know this is an opportunity.
Yeah, I like this, guys. If he makes that roll, we can chase, right?
Very few chances you're going to get.
Is there going to be a triple?
Yeah. But almost no matter where you go.
It's fine. Roll it
Okay.
over there.
Yeah. So I think we roll it and make it tricky. Yep.
Kevin Cooey in his first.
Heavy.
Ben, heavy board.
Easy,
Whoa.
easy.
Definitely a little light. Whoa.
No.
Whoa, clean. Whoa. Whoa.
Brent.
They wanted to roll it away now. Spread them out.
Go, 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 go.
Oh, and he'll take it right over and sit it on the edge tee line.
Nice throw, Kev.
Very good, Koo.
Okay, he's not playing the under anyways. Good.
He's playing the triple.
Hold on, som helst med, ikke?
Det kan godt være, den er der, hvis du er lidt to i den.
Out-turn triple might be there. The problem with these type of shots is you try so hard to make the triple, you only get one of them.
Så Mikkel til at bringe den tilbage til
Then it's a free draw for 3.
When you should turn around and look at the scoreboard
Right, right.
and give them the deuce and say,
Exactly.
we're going to move on now.
Yeah.
I think Kevin was expecting to play that stone at the back 8 and roll underneath.
Right.
Final stone, Rasmus Stjerne. What's he got here? A little bit of magic. 1 And he will go across the top.
Oh, man.
Wow, the air went out of the Santiago Paula. Everybody went, oh!
Little thinner, but much thinner. You don't get that back one. Oh.
That close.
If Kevin hadn't rolled as far as he did, that he would have made that.
It's no faster than yesterday. Hey, Langer? It's no faster than yesterday.
It's the same. It's the
What
same
a
as it
well
was.
curled end.
Yeah, same as it was yesterday and the day before. He like it for like
Mark
85,
Kennedy's
right?
hit, roll over,
I was thinking
tap,
like
freeze.
85. That's what I got in practice for you.
85 is fine,
Yeah.
Kev. Same.
Yeah. I got heavy on that one.
Just clean it. I don't think we're that heavy.
I didn't feel heavy to me.
Clean it. You're fine. No chance.
Final stone. Put it in the paint.
Clean it then.
Shot, Kev. Shot, Kev. Very good. Nice thing, guys.
Don't stop.
Very nice end played by the Canadians. Rasmus Stjerne, though, nearly pulled off the unbelievable. 3-2 at the break, Canada.
Yeah, right.
The 2016 World Men's Curling Championship is brought to you by Ford of Canada, proud partner with Curling Canada for more than 20 years.
It's the final day of the Men's World Curling Championship presented by Ford of Canada from Basel, Switzerland. Time to check the numbers after 5. Canada with that deuce in 5 to take the lead 3-2. And they are out curling the Danes. The game has sort of slipped away from the Danes at the moment. Interestingly enough, though, it is Rasmus Stjerne who is the high player and out curling Kevin Cooey 95 to 89% respectively. But in all the other positions, it's advantage Canada. The numbers after 5 are brought to you by Ford of Canada, proud partner of Curling Canada for over 20 years.
The 2016 World Men's Curling Championship is brought to you by World Financial Group, helping Canadians have better financial futures. By Tim Hortons, official coffee of Curling Canada. And by Home Hardware, homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Welcome back to Santiago Paula in Basel. Second half underway. And Canada with that 3-2 lead after getting the deuce in 5. Some well-played shots, couple of wonderful shots by Brent Lang, and then of course that hit, roll, tap, freeze by Mark Kennedy, helping set up the deuce for the Canadians. So here in 6, it is Denmark. It does have last rock playing the Redstone.
The hit, roll, tap, freeze, which is exactly what it was. And it took on a lot of risk, too. And he could have grouped 3 Canadian stones, and Rasmus could have made a double stayed in front or made a triple. To hit that over and freeze it was just absolutely incredible.
Nice shot.
10 draws. Actually 11 draws and 1 hit. 100% so far for Ben Hebert. And you'll notice now the Canadians with that little advantage. So Hebert is out curling Trolls Harry.
I told you, dudes. So I got told.
A little across. I think we go this way still.
Okay.
Top 8.
Remember this? Yeah. Get that nice finish, yeah.
A little less than last time, but we're really close. Okay.
Wait only.
Weight's good.
We're there.
What's there?
We're there. We're top 4, Kev.
Clean it, Marcus.
Clean.
Doesn't look heavy. It
Top
looks
4.
good.
If we leave it, we're
Benny,
close.
Benny. Gotta go, Ben. Gotta go. Never off. Never off.
Benny, come on, Benny.
Never off.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Good shot.
It's a small thing, but we've drawn attention to it throughout the week. It's that lack of communication, because everyone's so concentrating on the brushing. And when Mark said it's there, Kevin quite rightfully said, what does that mean? What's there? Oh, it's top 4.
Yes, we've seen so many teams burned at the USA a couple times yesterday. It's almost like, I think, you know, with the pressure like a Ben Hebert, it's almost like a kid with a new toy, because what he can do left and right with these brushes, and you just want to help so much on the line, and it's a little bit like a golfer. You get mesmerized by the line, and you forget about the speed you have to hit the putt.
They get rid of the center guard. They move stones around. Shot rock bumped to the back 8. Shot rock now belongs to the Danes.
I got it, Mark.
Top 8 covered by that Canadian rock.
Easy normal.
Easy normal. Forward control.
And is trying to force in this situation. It doesn't look like a steal situation, so sitting 3 would be nice.
Hard, Benny. Hard, Ben. Hard, Benny.
Needs to sit for him, and will it come back? No.
Okay.
So Canada sitting 2 without last rock.
Så lad os gå rundt om corneren, når vi får chancen. Lige. Hey. Whoa. Whoa. Tæt.
Mikhail Poulsen.
Step. 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 Hard. Hard.
And they'll touch it on the way by, but stays in play, back edge of the 8. Shot rock belongs to the Canadians.
How close was this? One more lick.
Just unable to hold it.
It's not ideal.
Timeout.
The handle came right off the stone.
Ooh. Never seen it. It's practically broken at the stem there.
Hans Vutric will have to come out and have a look. If you ever wondered what the eye of the hog looks like inside, it's this. So you go to there you go. All the electronics. So Hans Vutric from Gimli, Manitoba is the head ice
I had to
maker.
stop there because you were walking out. You just, it's okay. It's okay.
You have to learn your Swiss German, Mark. Tell that man that you don't want him to walk.
We'll throw one of these ones until Hansi fixes it. I'll just take one of these that we've actually used. I don't want one there.
Well, it's just
on our sheet, Hansi.
walking out.
Taking the rock.
Oh, no, I don't think so. Okay, thank you.
This is the problem now. It's he has to keep that same stone. He doesn't want it. It's simple to bring a rock from somewhere else, but they're never going to agree to that.
So he'll grab a handle from another stone. Make the run down. Boy, it's been an endless week for Hans Vutric and the crew. Told you that one night this week, with all the humidity problems, they were bringing in equipment midweek, working till 2 in the morning. They were on the roof of the Santiago Halle, trying to open the vents to be able to clear the humidity.
Sure.
You know, we've talked often about the way these stones hit, and that they really don't crack. I mean, I realize that's the point of the granite, the special granite.
Exactly.
But
This has got to be an out.
this is just the insert and the timing mechanism.
Right, the plastic handle broke, and it's you wonder how the chips and whatever components are in there don't get rattled around. The guy can throw it as hard as this guy.
There you go. And we're fixed. Nice job, Hans Vutric.
No, I think this is the right shot.
You know your new numbers, eh?
Yeah. Good control. Yep.
Now you got to be careful here. It depends on how warm the air temperature is, but the rock can heat up. To allow this to slow down. Don't think it was left long enough.
Little extra weight.
Little firm. Benny, Ben. Gotta go, Ben. Gotta go. Gotta go. Go, 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 go.
Good. Good shot.
Is it 2? And keep the force on.
Ja, vi kan også bare køre den lige ned. Kan godt lide, Danny. 9.
2 choices. Play that double again, but it's getting late. You can't let Canada sit 2 much longer here. They might try to roll behind the corner. Need one real good shot here, or Denmark's going to have to draw for 1.
So again, as you check those numbers, Mark Kennedy at the moment is out curling Johnny Fredrickson at the 3rd position. And he runs it by.
Så godt, Johnny.
And Brent Lang is out curling Mikael Poulsen
Okay.
at the 2nd position.
What?
I was a little heavy.
Okay,
Want the
shade
same?
less. Shade less, though.
The only place where it's advantage Denmark is at skip.
Same weight.
That doesn't shock me. Rasmus has been incredible all week, and they're close, Kevin and Rasmus, but you can see the middle of the lineup where especially Kennedy is starting to pull away from his opponent. Nice roll.
Good mark. Close, ja. Og tag mig 8, Johnny. Ja.
Didn't like that delivery.
Trying to hold it, now run it back. And they did, and they stuffed it.
Hey, Johnny.
Fantastisk, vi rammer 3 gange. Det er inde på 1 millimeter hver gang. Så godt, Johnny.
You know, you watch these little things, and they become impressive. I mean, the fact that Kennedy stone rolled over now to be right over top of it allows that. I mean, the fact that, you know, you have to then can't bang it right on the nose.
Right.
Easy control.
Those little things that this elite level always thinks about.
With that much separation, if you don't bang it on the nose, a good chance you're going to miss the back one. 3 tries at a double didn't work out. Nice situation for Canada.
Rock, easy control. Yeah. Should be max ice, but
Force here gives them control in the game again.
Weight's good.
Clean. Whoa, Benny.
clean it.
Whoa. Whoa.
Looks like you right now.
Hard, Brent.
Come on, Brent.
Hard, Brent.
Come on, Brent.
Hard.
Stop.
Keep going. Keep going.
Brent Lang. Now the question is, will it sit for them
Close.
and come back? Coming back, coming back. No.
Wow.
Spot's deadly straight.
It's a big one. Shoot.
Brent knew it. He said, don't jump it, Benny. It's not going to move there.
Kan I bedre lige bare blive der? Ja, der.
That's the call. You roll buried, you're going to be forced. Kevin just freezes in there. You have to just draw for 1. Just get it out in the open here.
Er det at gå efter den og bare lægge den ind? Det er fint nok i forhold til den, inden vi har spillet, hvor vi ikke rigtig har haft chancen. 10? Ja, 10.
Læg den ind, hvis du vil. Jeg har tænkt mig, at vi skal ikke rulle på den.
Perfect roll would be deep without rolling out. It's a tricky little shot.
That roll out letting the Danes off the hook a little bit.
Set. Stop. Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yep. 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 Hard. Yep.
Johnny.
Se, Johnny.
I'd love to have rolled farther. You could have rolled another 2 or 3 feet. Obviously rolling out, you had to protect. Kevin's going to give this the old college try to get behind that corner guard.
Yeah.
No risk. You can gamble here if you're marked to roll too far. If it rolls out, it's really not a problem. You have to make this roll. I expect Kevin to be extremely close here.
Maybe a shade more.
Normal. Whoa.
Clean.
Whoa. Whoa. Close.
Got a
Whoa.
stick for sure. Got the
Whoa.
stick.
Close.
Just like you.
Layer. Layer. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Mark. Mark. Whoa. Whoa.
Yes.
And trying to roll it in behind that corner, and they'll get it to the back. But again, that little bit of
Kev, good shot.
confusion between Lang and Hebert.
Close. Yeah,
A little far.
Great shot, man.
Wow, you've got to be like that. Probably missed perfection by
Det jeg synes, den er.
16th of an inch.
Jeg ved ikke, hvorfor jeg synes, den er.
It's still good though. It's virtually underneath.
As they say now, the other buzzword is chase. They have to chase the Canadians here.
Og det skal være 9 derude.
Jeg tror ikke, vi kan flytte den så meget derude. Det var se en tredjedel.
Good indecision on this one.
Så tænker bare her.
I don't remember anything about this wide, Vic.
Men jeg tænker bare, at det ikke bedre at spille scoretavlen score i 6.
Det er godt.
Det synes jeg, der er en eller anden, der siger mig, hvis vi lader ham stjæle en her, står det 4-2.
Tro på det, det der. Tro på det, laver.
Ja, det ved jeg godt, men jeg spiller det, der giver mening.
And you can hear the fresh brush coming down the ice.
Gonna draw. Wow.
Oh, goodness.
Wow. 6th and I guess maybe that might be part of the theory, but you hate to give Canada the hammer back. If you don't know the spot, you don't know the spot. You know, you give up a steal 2 down. It's not wrong, but Kevin Cooey's pretty happy.
Oh, I would think he's just might not show it externally, but inside he's jumping. This was totally unexpected. That stone being that deep and these brushers being able to carve it, you would think he'd be able to get to it. So that hit and roll results in the force. Denmark gets their single. Canada will have the last rock in a 3-3 tie when we come back. Well, from Basel and the Rhine River, the thoughts of the Canadian team and much of curling was on Winnipeg this week and the funeral of the 92 Canadian champion Vic Peters. Remember in Grand Prairie at the Scotties, Vic walking out with his daughter Liz Fife, and then Dan Carey was there with his daughter Chelsea, Russ with daughter Ashley, and Rick Lang with his daughter Sarah Potts. And the Canadian team, Kevin Cooey and company, and all of us wanted to once again send our condolences and sympathy to the Peters family.
I was so fortunate to play against Vic at a couple of Briars. He beat me in the final in one of them, and I actually remember saying to Wendy, my wife, you know, I just don't feel that bad. You know, they were so good, such a great guys, and if I wasn't going to win, I wanted Vic to win, and just an amazing competitor and a great friend.
And of all the things you read and heard people talk about Vic Peters, there was never, and I truly mean this, never a negative word.
Exactly.
Nothing ill ever spoken about Vic Peters. As we welcome you back on this final day, Men's World Curling Championship from Basel, presented by Ford of Canada. Curious call. We talked about it in the break. You know, I realize he maybe didn't know the spot. He had to go out wide out turn. But you played the whole end for the blank. At least give it a go, especially with what they can do with the brushes today. But they elected to draw for the single. And so we're tied at 3, and here in 7, it's Canada playing the Yellowstones that have the last rock. And one turn.
It's close. What a great stone.
Let's see if we can stay with it here. That's tough to say. Looks like it may be out at the back.
You're taking the wrong line. Heads up, Johnny. Sorry, Johnny. Nope.
Again, the difference if you're just happen to join us. The Canadian rules, you only get 2 brushes, and they are your sweeping brushes.
Yep.
Here at the world level, everyone's gotten a fresh brush, so you try to protect.
Shooter. Shooter, guys, shooter. Nice shot.
And that's why the exchange of brushes.
Nice Langer.
Shot, Brent.
This plays right into Canada's hand. A force, obviously. It's now a 4-in game to see who's the world champion. If Canada's going to score, they'd love to do it in 8. And the way this end's setting up, 7 could be a blank.
Bang, whoa, whoa, bang, whoa, step, cut off, hard out,
Miguel Poulsen.
You mean? Take that.
And now no doubt, as the Stones are out of play at the back.
On the court.
He could have thrown a center guard there. Canada would maybe go around, but there'd be 2 guards. Canada can't peel them both, and Denmark could draw around and force Canada to a single.
That's extra.
As we play second Stones, and remember now, this is the 7th. This is not. This isn't something the Canadians would hate here. Thinking blank
That's
7.
just it. That's why I thought that you might do that, Team Denmark. They seem quite happy with running this to the 8th. You know Canada is.
About right, Brent. Yeah, that's 13-2.
I wasn't going to throw a
So
center.
real quick on our next 4.
Button.
Save some time for the last 3.
Going to school a little bit too. Brent Lang and the team on that draw. They were looking for top for the button, actually cover the pin, and they went back edge of the 4.
Ice constantly changes. People are surprised that watch our coverage and don't play the game, that you can actually usually slows down the middle. I haven't seen any of that with Hans's ice, but you have to be aware. So it's nice in an end like this when you're hitting them up and down. It's nice to have that, what I call a freebie, where somebody in the team gets to throw a draw and you get a little bit of feel of what it's doing in end number 7.
Mark Kennedy changing the position and hangs it on the edge of the 12.
Lucky Mark hung on the corner here. I think Johnny would have frozen to it. Would have to be a perfect freeze to create a bit of a nuisance, but it's possible.
Just clean. Yep.
Stay down out here.
Hard.
Brent Lang
Whoa.
staying with it.
Kevin getting the gripper off right away. Slide to the far end. He'll be ready to bank a little bit of time.
Early in the week when the ice was tricky and very frosty, the Canadians were pushed a couple of times when it came to the clocks. 38 minutes in thinking time, as well as that 1 60-second timeout.
Yep. Move on. Lidt oppe. Under.
Right. Yep.
Bang.
Whoa, fine.
Balance. Paras. Ned. Sådan.
Altså, vi har holdt den aftale om at give ham en tæt kamp, så...
Firm control. Normal. Whoa.
Yep.
Hard bend. Hard.
Okay, Kev, good throw.
Rasmus Stjerne, the former world junior champion of 2009, won it in Vancouver when the junior event was the test for the facility and the Olympics. Winner over Brett Gallant.
Kevin Cooey in the round robin through 24 peels. Not necessarily blank attempts, but just peels, make it go away. He made 24.
Ja. Keep it clean, Benny.
Looking for the blank in a 3-3 tie. Kevin Cooey in his last.
Clean. Well done, clean.
Clean it.
Clean. Clean.
Nice throw, Kevin.
And so we'll have our third blank of the game. It comes here in 7. But in this all-important 8th now, the last rock belongs to Canada. On a very nice spring day in Basel, now you can stream the best of TV all in one place. It's called Crave TV. It's now available to everyone. Start your 1-month trial. Crave TV. The medals, the keeper trophies, the gifts that'll be presented after the game, this gold medal game of the Men's World Curling Championship, presented by Ford of Canada. That blank in 7 means that Canada will once again have the last rock. They have the hammer playing the Yellowstones here in 8 in a 3-3 tie.
That non-blank in 6 could be the difference where Rasmus decided, and rightly so, if you don't feel comfortable, you don't throw the shot. But you'd think with the brushes, just to put that in perspective, the final 4 skips that made the playoffs here, they chose to hit 67% of the time, 33% on draws, obviously. And the reason for that is the directional brushing. It's just that much easier. So I thought Rasmus would take a kick at that one, but he's still in the game. He's tied. At some point, he'd love to force Canada here, either here or preferably in 9. Score 2 and 10 to win.
Freeze it.
Sorry, guys. Dead light on you.
Okay.
All right.
So Ben Hebert saying he was just flat out light out of his hand. He staggered those stones though. Center line, top 12.
Rikke Besley. Sandsyn, skal vi rundt her? Gå lige kom ned og snak.
Good situation to apply some pressure. You'd love to steal one here.
Det var ikke lige en lang guard foran den der, vel?
Ole har også en pointe, altså. Du piller os ind, eller cornergarden nu.
Danish
Så har vi ikke nok op på den.
coaching bench.
Du er med de 2 forreste.
Så prøv at pile den der, ikke?
Benny was trying to get to the shot rock there. He just underthrew it. He was at 100%, so we'll give him a pass.
Du bare skal spille den cornergarden alligevel, så spille fryser bagefter.
Du kan ikke lige prøve at ramme rulle cornergarden dernede af, lige give en vinkel på...
Ja, lige nok den der.
Stød den. Spil den som en 9.
Ja, men skal bare være sikker, hva'?
Spil den som en 9 og rulle derovre.
Så han ikke bare igen.
Hovedet græs. Det er bare, du kommer til at lide det sådan af. Den skubber ikke den anden af, hvis den skubber.
Worried about the corner guard, but drag the play to the middle. You peel the corner guard, there's a good chance Canada has a low-risk chance here to blank.
Mikkel ramme her. Og forstyrre den vinkel lidt. 8.
If they can hit and roll in, yeah, that's what they're doing. They've softened the way. They're just going to hit it and roll in and try to get 2 things out of this. Take away the corner guard danger, roll in and help out that staggered guard situation. They roll into the center line here.
Mikael Poulsen. And across the top. And they won't be able to hold it even on the edge.
They're trying to kick right into it, I guess. Surprised me. Just could have just rolled on top.
Yeah, it's thrown here a couple of times. The speed's the same as it was in the second.
So they're starting to get a little bit of separation in this position here. And at the third position.
Okay, right on the nose at its best. Yeah.
Trying to win a third world championship. Brent Lang.
Line should be good. Just T-line.
Weights close.
2007 in Edmonton with Glenn Howard, then repeated it 4 years ago here in Basel.
Line's good.
Line will get there. Come on, Mark. Come on, Marcus. Come on, Mark. Dig. Dig. Go.
Gotta go.
Kennedy, keep
Really
really got to go, fellas.
Keep on.
And they're going to come up light.
Sorry, Langer.
You gotta line them up too, Vicky. Hit the top yellow dead on. The red goes right onto that Mark Kennedy stone. Yikes. He said the weight would be the same as it was a couple lanes ago. You wonder. Out that far. See a little bit of white dusting on the edges.
Keep going.
Look at that line. There's a good camera angle. This is just about admissible.
And he's going to get them both. And they are sitting 2 without last rock. Denmark.
Make the double in a row. I like it.
Yeah, or you tap it back.
I don't hate a blank here, guys.
No, me neither.
Switch brooms with a Mark.
Whatever you like.
I don't hate that.
Try for your 2.
Yeah, I guess that's the decision, right? When do you want to go? I mean, you could take the blank.
Yes.
As Ben suggests, take it to 9. But then you risk giving it up in 10, the last.
That's just it. That's just it. If you thought you could blank 8 and 9,
Weight's there.
Weight's good.
that would be the play. Play the double here.
We're back 12.
Pull up.
Got a little extra.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta go.
Come on, Benny.
Ben Hebert.
Hard, Benny.
Now a quick look.
Mark.
And they'll push it all the way through.
Good shot.
They're
It's
just
actually really
failing
hard
to
get
put
the
another
nose.
brick
Good
in the
shot.
wall.
Got under a little. Good sweep. Yeah. Nice sweep.
Gotta go.
Come on, Benny.
Hard, Benny.
Come on, Benny.
Hard, Benny. Hard to get by.
Roll up. Mark.
This is where it's getting a little straighter here now. A little bit of adrenaline. You throw that extra pound. The brooms aren't quite as effective. You see a lot of shots missed wide. Not this one.
One more time. And again. Very nice to run it back. Hold the raised stone. They're sitting 2 again.
Good throw by John there.
What do you got?
I got almost 3/4, Kev.
What are you thinking? Board?
Yeah, good board.
Roll it right beside it.
Board's good.
Okay.
Hit and roll. There's no double. Hit and roll towards that one that was just raised by Denmark. Group them, set up a double.
Easy lane.
Weight's good.
Easy, guys.
Whoa. Close.
Just board.
Whoa.
Board.
Whoa. Whoa. Hard.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Go.
Hard kill.
And not quite.
Good shot, Mark. That's good. So it goes to there, I guess.
Ja. Ni.
Ja, lad være med at miste trøden.
Det er meget god fart for det. Hendes mere måske også. Hvad siger du, Arne? Du kan give lidt mere måske. Okay.
Lidt oppe.
A lot of weight.
Johnny Fredrickson.
Stop!
No roll.
Now, how far will it go? And it will hang on, back edge 12.
Just.
Freeze, Kate.
You can make this too, I guess. I don't hate that.
Kate. Okay.
I hate it unless Mark Kennedy's throwing it, and then you start to like it because if Mark hits this thin, rolls out, Denmark goes around the center guard.
Can I go over the top? I don't think so. Looks hard.
Pretty tough.
Okay.
Turn you like.
Think I like the intern.
Okay.
Freeze would accomplish a similar
Thick half.
thing. You freeze it, Denmark blasts everything, then you can get at the back one. But Mark's made so many of these.
This also sets up the blank possibility, right?
Sure.
Mark Kennedy.
Hard, gotta go.
One. Coming across, and sliding underneath.
That was the worry. That was the worry right there. Now they go around. Can you blank? Can you score?
Husk på deres pressure hele tiden her. Ja, det
Don't forget that's a red one that Kevin might have to run in. You bury this, Kevin runs it in, gets one of them. Denmark draws to sit two, and there is no blank opportunity.
Stop. Offset. Stop. On ned. On ned. Go one. Six. Yep.
See the hog-to-hog time.
Six. Whoa. Hands flying. Sit, baby. Sit.
And it may just overcurl a bit, showing itself now on that intern side.
I'm not going to be
Yeah, I'm not in love with that.
I'm thinking about scoring.
I think you hit and roll over
That's
here.
your best chance to score.
What do you have?
You got about a quarter.
Grab the other broom just in case. Try and make it without it, obviously, but.
Slight overcurl by Rasmus, but just a brilliant game on his part.
Board, yeah.
96%.
Easy board, and if I call it to roll even a little further, his roll is really tough low.
Yeah.
And then he got the draw.
But if you roll not quite there.
Yeah, right here he doesn't have the roll. I got you. Board weight.
It's going to be rolling plenty low.
You want to roll about middle 8 foot here, and then the angle to hit and roll buried will jam.
Which one do you want, Ben?
This one.
Let's say you roll to the 8 foot. Rasmus has to hit and roll to our right.
Yeah.
And then the whole 8 foot's wide open for a draw for one for Canada, which they'll take at this point in time.
Board. Clean.
Clean it, Ben.
Clean it.
Whoa. Clean.
It's on the line. I can
Whoa,
definitely
yep.
get there.
Whoa. Whoa. Get ready, Brent.
Whoa.
Yep. Whoa.
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 Spin a little.
Nice shot.
Pretty good,
Kevin.
Kev. Pretty good.
Perfect. Good shot. Nice, Kev. Attaboy.
Just
Great
stay
shot,
down
Kev.
here with.
Ja, great shot.
Stop bare og tænker på, om du skal flytte den den vej i stedet for.
Hvad var det spil?
Du bærer den den vej.
Ja, men jeg vil gerne bare spille 10.
Vil du ikke lige ringe med den her?
Nej,
Hvad var 10? Ja.
Den køler ret meget her, Johnny. Her. Prøv det lidt mere endnu.
There's room to pass this by the Canadian stone, roll towards the center and sit two, but it's a delicate play. They're going in turn here. Very few inside-out shots in this game on all four corners.
Det er kort. Stop. 11. Yep, stop! Yep, hard!
Oh, starting to go.
Final stone for Denmark.
Yep, middle of field! Hard!
Olsen with some late licks. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, and just enough.
Wow.
Just enough to push it out.
Why did they go that way, Vic? I thought they just rolled towards center. Woo. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous.
Hard! Hard, Johnny! Hard!
Godt set on.
Middle of field! Hard!
Looked like you could hit half of it this way and roll. You had a lot more ways to roll, a lot farther to roll, but just gets away with it.
And it does give the Canadians the opportunity for the blank.
Exactly. 2-end game, you've got hammer. You can't ask for much more than that.
Clean! Yep! Clean! Yep! Good.
Nice throw, Kev.
Nice throw. Good it is. Blank in 8. Canada will take that last rock now to 9 in a 3-3 tie. Let's step into the Wayback Machine. We'll go back 4 years. 2012, large Canadian contingent cheering on Glenn Howard and Canada up against Tom Brewster and Scotland. This one went an extra end, and with Scotland sitting 2, Howard would need to draw a piece of the 4-foot for the championship. And he'll get full 4, and with it the gold medal, as Howard, along with Wayne Madaw, Brent Lang, Craig Saville, won the 2012 World Men's Curling Championship in this very building, the Santiago in Basel. So that's the last Canadian championship. Interestingly enough, Nicholas Edin has won it twice since then. Thomas Olsrud for Norway in the middle of it all. And both those teams represented here at the Worlds in Basel. Edin and Olsrud, but they struggled this week and they failed to make the playoffs.
That really speaks to the parity, Vic. Glenn beat Brewster in the final there. Brewster come second at the Worlds twice. You got Scotland, Norway, Sweden, all favorites this week going in. Gone, didn't make the playoffs. So much depth.
Go then, Mark. Mark, let's go. It's got to be just Mark. Go. Go. Come on. Come on, boys. Come on, Brent. Go. Keep going. Okay, that's fine. Okay. That's fine.
And interestingly enough, the last time Canada went 4 years without was actually 7 years between the win by Oris Melischuk in '72 and, of course, Canada again, Rick Folk in 1980. The U.S. winning 2 titles in that span of 7 years, including their last in '78. But they picked up a bronze medal this year. John Schuster will win over Japan earlier today.
Seriously?
Yeah, I like it too.
They still have a guard.
Okay, out turn.
Where's our other one?
You see that?
Where's the other one? Kev has it. Kev!
Make a bunch of rocks go away this end. That's what it's all about here for Team Canada. Try to simplify it here. Get the blank. You get the blank, you've got an extremely good chance of being the world champion. Danger in this one, though.
Brent Lang.
Mark. Mark. Stay. Whoa.
Good. Go.
Sorry, Brent. Good shot.
Good try. Take your try. Real close. Yeah. Time.
Timeout being called by Denmark. Each team given one 60-second timeout.
There's er en del af mig, der godt kan lide den lidt friske. Det er bare at løbe den der lige ned. Men hvis vi ikke laver den, så bliver det den her, så er vi bygget bag.
Altså, han er bange for den guard der. Altså, hvad hvis du ligger den igen?
Hele vejen bag om hans hele vejen herude fra.
Det kan vi også godt.
Jo.
Der er bag 4.
Jo, fordi lige nu ligger den der i vejen, både for os og for ham, men det er bedre, at han fjerner den for os, end vi fjerner den, ikke?
Men han gør nok godt bare finde på at run ned.
Den ligger ikke i vejen for os. Vi kan bruge den til at skubbe ind, så. Den ligger i vejen for ham lige nu.
Jeg ved ikke, om du skal lægge garden igen.
Det synes jeg ikke.
Altså, han vil fandme fuld.
Canada sitting the one top of the 8 foot.
Det der, så skal vi stikke den, og så er vi ikke godt kørende alligevel. Hvis vi kan komme herned, så er det meget godt sted den.
Vær klar på
I kan ikke lide der, vel?
Jo, jeg kunne godt lide der. Jeg sad og tænkte på det.
Så hvis du spiller noget her, Danny, så har du den der stacker ting, du kan smide den rundt om med nummer 3.
Ja.
Right around everything works.
Det jeg siger nu, I skal ikke blive 0 endda nu.
Nej, det er derfor, vi sådan prøver at spille lidt højere.
Jeg ved, selv hvor I lever lige nu, det har jeg ikke rigtigt, men ligesom, jeg er helt med endnu. Nu er det jeres værdier, som vi virkelig snakker om. Gå ind og lave nogle ting. Om I går ned og fryser den, eller om I går rundt, det er lidt op til jer, hvor I føles rigtigt.
Vi skal have en stæng ind i ringen.
Ja, det skal
altså, jeg kan rigtig godt lide den her.
Jeg kan godt lide ind i ringen.
Somewhere I heard go around.
Ja, helt andet, det er fint. Så er der noget luft, så når han løber den der.
Det er fint.
Og så kan vi altid fryse den her.
Put it in the paint. Canada's probably playing that red double. If they're successful,
Hvis du står og kigger på, han lægger den herover, så sidder han så.
it's going to be tough to hold Canada to stop them from blanking.
Så er den bare uendelig kort form.
If you ever freeze to that, it would help. Tough shot. Grouping the reds. I like all the way around and just guard it forever.
Men kan du bedre lide det fryse der? Jeg tror, det her det er nemmere at skulle spille det mere af det spor, vi har spillet hele dagen.
Det var spillet fryse der.
Godt nok. 2 gule.
That'd be good too if you could freeze to it.
Læg den her,
Through the port, I assume, to get to that freeze. You're running a bit of a risk of if you come up light here, you don't get the right line. All the reds are grouped together. Canada has a couple tries to blast them all, and it's going to be a blank. Even if you went right around back 8, Vic. Tough situation for Denmark here because they're trying to keep rocks in play.
Right, if we're underneath it though, he's got the hit and roll behind these staggers.
Well, he's always
Okay, okay, boys.
Just roll dead buried on the tee line.
Looks like the Canadians have their shot already figured out.
Hej Johnny, så! Wow, gør lidt! Ja, bare kom, hvis du kan.
Så højt op, så højt, så højt, så højt.
Wasn't even close.
Not at all. But not bad because it stops that short double.
Yeah. Roll right to there. Here we go.
I think you can throw this with good board.
Yep. Intern.
Canada smells an opportunity here now. Now they're thinking hitting, rolling in, and score 2 or 3.
What do you got, Benny? What number?
2. Solid board.
Really close. Whoa. Clean. Whoa.
Ready?
Yep. Yes! Gotta go.
Gotta go. Come on, Mark. You got it. Hard. Come on, Mark. Cap.
Kennedy.
Whoa.
And now rolling it over.
Go.
Taking it as far as they can, evening him up and leaving it on the edge of the 12.
That's as good as you can throw a curling rod. Key with Brent Lang is he never, doesn't matter what the situation, he doesn't overthrow.
Come on, Mark. Cap.
Oh, how good is that? Stops there. If it's a disaster, there's a simple double.
Good sweep.
Awesome, he says.
Også bare så langt her.
That miss by Johnny, though, it's a rock that's really causing Canada fits because they can't get at down the center here.
Johnny Frederickson playing third stones here in the 9th. Got it. Now, where's it going to stop? And spin it does, and spin it does, and spins out. Crucial misses here right now by the Danes.
A little overthrow there, and that's what happens under pressure. That's what Brent didn't do. This looks like it's way out, and then it does a little. Looks out.
I think it's 14 seconds.
Okay, we're going to go back T, so let's go 13.75, okay? Even Mark, if we're back here.
Yeah, I actually, in my mind, I'm playing the freeze.
Okay, good. Back 8, Mark.
That's an interesting
let me know.
way to approach it. They want to go back T, but he's playing it as if I want to freeze to our own stone, the Canadian rock. You guys will have to carry it.
That's smart to have a visualization. Mark's so good at that. If you try for T line, you throw 3 feet, 4 feet light, which you're trying to do. You leave it light, there's a double.
I agree. You're on it. Whoa. Let it stop.
Make
Stay
sure
with
we're
it.
on it.
Benny. Gotta go hard. Have to go.
Oh boy, and he'll just hang it on the edge.
Oh, man.
That's all my fault.
Wow.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, Mark. Too big a push.
That was all me.
It was just a little baby slide and then a good jab.
Yeah.
Sådan noget bøtros.
Vi kan ikke rigtig fjerne det, så kommer vi bagud med 2. Ellers skal du lave den mega, men hvis du ikke laver den, er det også godnat.
Så læg den på kanten af den.
Kan I lide det hjørne der?
Skal du have noget, eller?
Vi kan godt tage en rød, jo. Ja.
2 choices.
Spil den til 5.
Angle freeze. Go right around everything, probably on the intern side, but
kører vi den der.
to the back 4-ish is the only way you get it buried.
Corner freeze on the Canadian stone.
I think so. It's heavy. You can go right around it.
Mikael Poulsen.
Not
Stjerne
heavy.
out as well. And no, they can't get it by their second guard.
Det er fantastisk.
Usable stone. Just at the right way.
Johnny's numbers have fallen.
Same shot as Brent would be ideal.
Yeah, but I'm not really worried about this one. I just don't want you rolling somewhere like here, right? Like, I'm just about.
John Dunn.
Think you could ever chase that?
He could. He can't.
He can't chase ours, no.
Part of me's inclined just to whip that inside and make sure we roll out, but if you can make it, that's
make
real
it.
good.
Yeah, we just saw it.
Throw it with that good
Board.
board Brent did.
Yeah.
And if I roll out,
I
roll
like
out.
you throwing it with control, and then we can. But we gotta roll it.
My only thing is that with control, do we jam the red and then
Doesn't
you don't
matter.
care?
I don't. I'm more worried about where this shooter stays, right?
Okay.
What do you think?
Can we call it good board or easy control?
I like it.
Whatever you want, as long as-
Soft weight. You're trying to hang in the corner like Brent did.
So going after that redstone, just throw.
I think so.
And just
Yes.
roll over and catch the top of the 12.
As I said, it's a dangerous stone. It was a miss, but it was a good one.
I don't think.
You have to deal with it, Canada.
Which one do you have? What number? 2.
And he's not concerned, Cooey said,
I'm
about
thinking
this
here,
red
Mark.
rock
What
possibly
do you think?
jamming on the Canadian stone at the back.
That's real close.
The most important thing is where the shooter winds up.
Right. If it doesn't jam and this rolls over to the top 12, there'll be a double, a yellow double, and maybe roll underneath. Takes away the entire end for Canada, and they probably can't blank. So Mark's going to try to overroll this. If he rolls out, he rolls out.
It's really close.
Hard, Brent. Whoa,
Go, Brent, go! Go, Brent!
Staying with it.
Come on, Kev, come on, Kev.
Now trying to roll it over again. And hoping that it'll even up. And that last little spin flattens it a bit.
I can't tell you how good those shots are with Mark and Brent. You hit this third of an inch thicker, it stops right there, which isn't much difference. And there's a double to sit underneath cover. I'd be tempted right here, Vic, to draw right around that center guard to the back 4. I know Canada's got the brooms, they might be able to chase it, but with this many yellow in the rings, Rasmus has 2 tries to get out of jail. One's going to be hit and roll now.
God fart. Wow. 10. God fart. Wow. Tæt. Michael. Wow.
Pulls in again.
Hot Johnny.
And where's he going to go? Not quite underneath. But he is the shot rock.
Synd, vi ikke får den derind.
Oh, that was so close.
Synd, Johnny.
Jeg tror, den var nok. Godt at få en squeeze mere.
Hvad?
Bare hellere have den på den side.
Ja, enig.
He got a little caught too on the rushing.
Just a bit.
Not quite sure who was going to take it.
Roll away, right?
So I'm thinking good boards.
Okay. When I'm calling the line, are you worried at all about jamming and not being second shot, or that doesn't matter right now?
Well, I would prefer not to, but
Okay.
I think that's still the weight.
Good board?
You're thinking a little more weight?
No, I like the weight.
No, I don't.
Good board.
What if we makes a come around?
What are you guys thinking?
Hit and roll away.
Yeah, I know, but not
Solid board.
Yeah, that's what we're calling.
Yeah, enough weight that you can save the back if we get tight.
Yeah. Benny, what number you got?
1.
Sliver more.
Here.
1.
Here.
What's that?
It's good. Nothing rank.
Numbers on brushes?
Yeah, the different grit,
Yes.
I guess we could put it.
Yeah.
Heavy board. Yeah. Whoa, guys.
Clean. Yep. Play up.
Kevin Cooey, his first. Trent Lang against the grain here, trying to hold this rock for them. Now going to roll it away.
We lost it.
It's fine.
And it'll hang around. They got the jam at the back, but Canada's still sitting the 1, top of the 8.
Maybe we should just pick that.
What's up? Altså, hvis jeg stikker den, hvad den går, så har vi mulighed for at vinde VM. Ja. Hvis vi går rundt, så skal vi tage 2 på ham, hvis han slår den ud.
Men han har stadig den der.
You got to draw here the double run. I know Rasmus makes everything he looks at, but
Den der igen, han rykkede den ikke så meget med sin frys her, eller sin tag.
Which way, though?
either with this this ice and the brooms, either. I would think the intern would finish more naturally. But you might have to go out a little too wide to do that. And I wouldn't go too deep. Even if you get it 2/3 buried, it's tough for Cooey to stay for 2.
You
didn't even make that ridiculously tough double run back. Cooey's got an easy shot for 1.
Jeg tror bare ikke, Johnny, jeg kan gemme den, så han ikke kan tage den ud igen. Jeg synes, det er
kan lægge samme sted.
Han kan altid komme ind til.
Hvad synes du, Johnny?
Ja, det er det, så vi... Altså.
Hvad synes du?
Jeg synes running.
Godt nok.
8!
Gonna go with the run.
Skarp på ydersiden, ikke? Hvor, hvilken hånd?
Afrund.
Wow.
Det ikke, Johnny?
Ja.
30.
You can't bet against this guy, but this is a very, very tough shot, and it's just draw the ocean for 2 if he doesn't make it.
Final stone. Denmark here in 9. Bang, bang, and by. Touched it. And so it is. The draw for 2 needs full 12.
Den var der, hvis vi ikke rører den. Hvad? Den har været der, hvis vi ikke rører den.
You know, sometimes it's a decision making means a lot. I'm trying to think back in that 1-2 page playoff on Friday night that led to the 3. He made another decision in there, did he not?
Mm-hmm.
Which I think was a come around.
Yes, that's right. And just when he could have hit.
And he could have hit.
Yeah. 2 funny ones this game. They didn't try the blank.
They made that's right. The draw for the single that was in 6.
And that one there, you know.
Sliver less.
He was close. You know, in fairness, he was extreme. They actually overbrushed it at the last possible second, but this late in the game, that's such a low percentage shot.
Like 2 feet more than that other one. Easy.
Line's fine.
Full 12.
Broom down. Broom down.
Broom down. We're fine. It's back 8 out most. Line's okay now. You're on it. You're on it.
Canada will get a very big 2 points here in 9. Rasmus Stjerne left shaking his head. 5-3 Canada.
Good job. That's fresh.
The 2016 World Men's Curling Championship is brought to you by Ford of Canada, proud partner with Curling Canada for more than 20 years.
Just mark, it's going to curl.
Just worry about the weight first.
Canada with a 5-3 lead as we go to the 10th.
Yep.
Welcome back to our coverage. Final day. Men's World Curling Championship gold medal game from Basel, presented by Ford of Canada. And here in the 10th, it is the Danes that do have the last rock. They have the hammer playing the red stones.
Benny.
So into the top edge of the button goes Ben Hebert. The corner put up by Denmark, capped now by Hebert, and now the second of the lead stones by Trolls Harry.
It's kind of ironic. Canada, I felt, with the lineup they have, had to force Denmark early to put enough pressure on this wonderful shot maker, Rasmus Stjerne, and he put the pressure on himself on that last one. I thought he'd play that come around. You get it in there, you might steal. If you make it good, Kevin has to draw the side of the forefoot or button for 1. You get your 2 coming home, you're a winner. And he almost made that double run. You have to give him credit, but I don't think I would have played it myself. But still a well-curled game. There isn't a player on Team Canada under 90%.
They're out curling everyone now, even the skip. Rasmus Stjerne has fallen down from his high of around 95. He's down to 88 at the moment, and Kevin Cooey for Canada is at 90%. So again, the tail of the tape may be a telling story here going in. Johnny Fredriksson is has been the struggle for the Danes. He's at 78%. Compare that to Mark Kennedy at 90% so far. Mikkel Poulsen.
The hardest thing you do in these events with the page system is beat a team 3 times. And all 3 have been a struggle for Canada against Denmark.
We're good to say?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Extra in the round robin. The big 3 that broke it open in the 7th end in the 1-2 game. Otherwise, they were tied. And the big 2 in the 9th here.
That 1-2 page playoff wound up 5-3 for Canada, and that's the way they sit right now, playing 10.
Freeze to the face. Ben came up just a foot or 2 lighter than he wanted to be. Nice alignment. It leaves a little bit of real estate to carve this in turn into the face of the shot, Canadian Stone. Losing line here. Oh.
And right down to it.
He's still got a little bit of work to do, guys, because he bounced.
You peel the shot?
Peel the corner.
Get him.
I mean,
Pushes the Canadian Stone to the lid. Mark Kennedy as we play third rocks.
Heartbreak. Good.
And now the Danes are going to have to generate it in the house running out of time, running out of stones. Need 2 to tie.
At
this point in time, there's an easy short run for Cooey. Ben Hebert's rock at the top of the 12.
Yeah, his draw weight has let him down. 78% overall for Johnny Fredrickson.
Ooh.
I think so too.
Take on the red.
Can you jam that?
Can you ever jam ours?
Yeah.
Oh, you can jam our back one?
Barely.
You can't see it all.
Barely. Well, let's be quick here.
I mean, that one arm of ours on the button's not exactly helping us now. Like,
No.
if he goes around everything.
But if we pick ours out of there and he goes around everything here,
Let's make this then.
it's not the worst.
Half a rock,
It's
eh?
half a rock, Kev.
Yeah.
I like it, Mark.
I like it. Yeah.
Very tight. But the difference in that fifth was that Kennedy hit roll tap freeze. It was brilliant to set up the deuce. And then, yes, in 9, electing to play the double run back instead of drawing around allowed Canada to get another deuce. That's the difference in the game. The game story brought to you by Tim Hortons, the official coffee of Curling Canada. Run back double. Half a rock, they said. Hebert. 1, 2. Oh, and he's got it. He'll split it around.
How good is that? You hit it thin, you jam it on your own. You hit it thicker, you get your own back shot rock. Kevin, after a lot of talking, said, well, then let's just make it. And Mark made no mistake.
Yeah.
Johnny Fredrickson.
Changes the odds of Canada winning this game huge. They've got a really good chance to make the next 3 Danish stones go away now.
And he'll bounce off.
By far better shots.
Oh, and this is best.
Oh, yeah. Let's make it go away and just
Make it
roll.
go away and I'll sweep something. I'm
Wide
aiming
open
for
too.
2/3. Hey?
Yeah, give me
Wide
just
open
outside
too.
middle.
Yeah. I like the run back.
Mark could feel it here now. He knows that shot he made. It
Get everything out.
makes things a lot simpler for Cooey.
Her haiku.
You're aiming for 3/4, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
You see back in the background Johnny Fredrickson just shaking his head. He knows that last couple of shots of his haven't been the best. 90% overall for Kevin Cooey. Now Brent Lang. Run it back, and they'll get it and lose the shooter, lose the stone. 1 rock remains in the rings. Back 4 belongs to to Canada.
Lethal, just lethal.
Nice catch, boy.
He nearly got his own off the pot too, which would have been even nicer. This guy doesn't change, does he, Vic? Just,
We'll take our time out wherever they are.
he's got 1 more rock to throw.
Excuse me.
That's all he's worried
We're gonna
about.
Take our time out. Yeah.
You see the 1:22 in thinking time for the Canadians with 1 stone to play. They've used up a lot of theirs compared to the Danes who've already used their timeouts. So already forewarning the official they're going to take their 60 seconds. Wherever this goes, if they can make this go away. Wow, what a great shot under pressure as he puts it right on the nose. Rasmus Stjerne.
That's a good shot. In-turn rocket.
I'm not sold. It goes easy.
Try to hit a quarter.
Once you're on.
Wow. You always wonder. Now there's that little bit of separation. Will that allow it to rattle around and be squeezed out?
That's the only chance he has because the line is so spectacular. If that was that half an inch closer, it's not there. And there's only a couple of players in the world would even attempt this. This guy's one of them.
Make it go away. We talked about how difficult the freezes have become, but that was and is as close to being perfect. The line right to the nose, but that little bit of separation. That rattle room. Final stone. Kevin Cooey. Make it go away. Rattle, squirt, little bit more, away it goes. World Championship for Canada.
How good was that?
And for Denmark, a silver, their best ever performance at a World Championship. Congratulations. What a wonderful week it's been. 10-1 through round robins. Scott Pfeiffer, who got into a couple of games, a four-time world champion. With Randy Ferbey now adds an alternate title.
What a shot.
What a great shot that was to squeeze it absolutely sideways.
So proud of you guys.
And John Dunn, who has meant so much to this team out of the University of Alberta.
Look where he hits that, Vic. He just takes the paint off of that thing. He's the best hitter in the world.
And I tell you what, if your other teams in Canada, and we already know that with his Canada Cup win, this team will be in the curling trials in Ottawa. They know they'll be there. You'd have to beware the Canadian team. But congratulations as well to the Danes and their first ever silver medal. Canada is your gold medal winner. They are the world champions in Basel, Switzerland.
The 2016 World Men's Curling Championship is brought to you by Cashmere Bathroom Tissue. Nothing feels like cashmere. By World Financial Group, helping Canadians have better financial futures. And by Tim Hortons, official coffee of Curling Canada.
Kevin Cooey and the team from the Glencoe Club in Calgary celebrate a world championship in Basel, Switzerland. Here's Kevin.
To cap it off with winning the Worlds. Great performance. They're a great young team, Denmark. And
congratulations. How does it feel, champion for 2016?
Oh, it feels so good. I mean, what a year we've had, and to cap it off with winning the Worlds. Great performance. They're a great young team, Denmark, and nothing flashy, but we were solid and pulled it out at the end. Feels awesome.
Yeah, what made the difference in the end?
I don't know, a shot here or there. Obviously, there was no big swing till we got the deuce and 9. They had to gamble a little. We're fortunate to get a deuce and, play a good 10.
How does it feel compared to the last time?
I mean, they're all awesome. 2 worlds. First one was great. This one's great too. New team. And you just don't get the chance to win a world championships that often, so it's unbelievable.
Special congratulations. Very well.
And now, of course, with a second championship, look at the names that he joins. Ernie Richardson, those early Scotch Cup days for Ron Northcott, Randy Ferbey, and then Do Good Folk, Wernick, Hackner, Howard, Stoughton. And legends of the game, all of them, and he has to be talked about now as one of the very best in the game. As the ceremonies are underway at St. Jakobshalle, as you watch John Schuster make his walk as the silver medalist. There's Dad Tommy in the middle wearing the white coat, Rasmus's father, who previous to this silver medal was the only medal winner for Denmark, having won a bronze medal in 1990. Couple of decisions, however, that is the difference, I think, when it comes right down to it.
Yeah, I can't agree more. Didn't try the blank in 6, and then tried that unbelievably hard shot in that 9 that he almost made. He tested Canada all the way through.
And here they come. The walk of a world champion. John Dunn on the left, Scott Pfeiffer, Kevin Cooey, Mark Kennedy, Brent Lang, Ben Hebert, Pfeiffer, and Dunn. What a week it's been. 10-1 in round robin, winning that 1-2 page playoff, and then taking Denmark out here in this gold medal final. A second world title for Cooey. For Kennedy, a second. Hebert, a second. For Brent Lang, a third. And what a story it is, and how good Basel has been to him as he wins a second world championship at the St. Jakobshalle.
Maybe a little summer home for him up in the mountains, because this building's been good to him. 2 world championships.
As you take a look at the teams there, the Japanese team that lost in the bronze medal.
Welcome.
Time for a deep breath now.
President of the World Curling Federation, who will bring greetings and congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the World Curling Federation and our 54 member associations, I would like to thank the local organising committee for putting on such a great show here this week in St. Jakobshalle, Basel. This is our second visit to Basel, and you certainly have not let us down. This championship started on the 50th anniversary of our federation, and what better way to start our year of celebration. Men's curling provides inspiring examples of the spirit of curling and the principles that make curling so special. And so to you, the athletes, thank you. To the sponsors, please. To the sponsors, officials, ice technicians, TV crew, media, not forgetting the wonderful volunteers, thank you. It now only leaves me to congratulate the 2016 World Men's Curling Champions, Team Canada. Well done.
Could I now call upon Mark Swanby, USCA representative, to present medals to the bronze medalists from United States of America. Coach Philip Robnick.
His team from the Duluth Curling Club.
The lead, John Landsteiner.
We mentioned that their last world championship was Bob Nichols back in 1978. That was
Matt Hamilton.
That was that 7-year drought between the Canadian championships of 72 and then 80. Rick Folk.
Third, Tyler George.
And then John Schuster, of course. Olympic bronze medalist back in 2006. Had a terrific week. Started off 1 and 2 and ended up getting into the final 4.
World Curling Federation Vice President to present medals to the silver medalist from Denmark. To the coach, Michael Quist.
Carol Hovald, who was the ultimate on the world champion Swiss team of Binia Felcher, as they helped with the medal presentations.
The lead, Travis Hurry.
Terrific performance when you all things considered. Again, the depth of curling in
The second, Michael Poulsen. The third, Johnny Fredrickson.
depth of curling in Denmark.
Yeah, no kidding. This guy right here was so impressive right from the start of the week.
And a wonderful applause. Did have a great week. Now proud dad must be.
Now I call upon Kate Keisnes, World Curling Federation President, to present medals to the gold medalists from Canada. To the coach, John Dunn. The alternate, Scott Pfeiffer. The lead, Ben Heber. The second, Brent Lane. The third, Mark Kennedy. And the skip, Kevin Coy.
What a wonderful player.
Would Christian Hotz, Sales and Marketing Director of Edox, please present the champions Edox watches to our winners.
Time should be correct. Oh, what about this little thing here? That cost me $60. That one. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think the Swiss timing is probably correct. Yeah.
Thank you. All the best. Good luck. Thank you very much. Stopwatch, boys. Congratulations. Good luck. Thank you very much. Call it even.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hotz. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Kate Keisnes will present the World Championship trophy to the champions, Team Canada.
For a second time, Kevin Cooey gets to raise the World Championship trophy. His first was in 2010 in Cortina. Canada are your gold medalists in Basel.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the national anthem of Canada?
Canada celebrates a world championship in Basel, and with that brings to the end another wonderful season of champions. Take it down for the win and a first Canada Cup for Rachel Homan. Kevin Cooey will win the Canada Cup. All the way, touch it!
Mary Fay, Nova Scotia, your 2016 Canadian Junior Champions. 3 years later, Dunstone does it again.
Chelsea Carey to be the Canadian champions. And Alberta are the Canadian men's curling champions. And it will go too far, and Switzerland are your women's world curling champions. And we've also had some wonderful, inspiring stories, such as the Swiss third, Irene Shorey, and her battle with cancer, and seeing Craig Saville, the two-time world champion in Ottawa, his battle with lymphoma, Brad Gushue, Krista McCarville at the Scotties. And we really have had a wonderful time. Everywhere we have gone, across the country, down to Las Vegas, now in Basel, Switzerland. It has been a memorable season of champions. And Kevin Cooey coming into this World Championship final against Denmark and coming out with his second world title with a 5-3 win. So now, on behalf of Cheryl and Kathy, Russ, David, Brian, our entire crew, we can't do it without our crew. Thank you for joining us. Another wonderful season of champions comes to an end here on Canada's sports leader, TSN.